Hi, welcome to this video where we're going to talk about adding the Stripe keys to Workshop Angel, and this will use a Stripe account where the account was created after the beginning of April 2024, and Stripe changed for accounts that were created after that time a different user interface for creating the keys. So we're going to start in Workshop Angel, and in an event that you're working with, you need to go to step 9, which is the live booking form section. And when you haven't entered your Stripe keys, you'll get this series of instructions here. So if you scroll down through the instructions, it goes to the section which talks about linking to your Stripe account. It shows you an image of the way things look in Stripe, and this part is very similar between Stripe accounts created before or after April 2024, and then it walks you through the different steps involved in creating the 4 keys that you will need in Stripe and then adding them to Workshop Angel. So let's go through those steps one at a time. So first we're going to add the test publishable key. So in Stripe we need to flick over to Stripe, and then in Stripe we need to be in the developers area, which we select with this button here. And then within developers, there's this submenu. We need to select the API keys area in the developers part. And then there's this area in Stripe, which allows you to switch between test mode and live mode, which is quite similar to the functionality we have in Workshop Angel. So the first key we're going to create and add to Workshop Angel is the test publishable key. And that key is already available here in the standard keys area, publishable key. So just look at this key, we click on it, and you see it says the key's been copied, and then we can go back to Workshop Angel, and this is the area then here where we can add the test publishable key. So we click on change, and we paste the key into that window, because that's now in our paste buffer, and we click save. And that's the first key that we have entered, and you see the key then as the beginning and the end, but it doesn't show you the parts in the middle. We're now going to add the live publishable key. So if we go back to Stripe, that's this same key, but we need to have Stripe now in live mode. So we change this switch here. Test mode is off, and we don't have this red banner. So now this is the live publishable key. You can see it begins with PK Live. So we click on that. We go back to Workshop Angel. This is the PK Live key. So we click on change. We paste the key in there, and then we click on save. Those are the 2 easy keys. The next 2 are a little bit more work. So what we want next is the test restricted key. So this is a key where we just enable certain features, just enough of the features to be able to do the things you need to do with Workshop Angel. So if we go back to Stripe, we go back to the test mode, and we're now going to create a key in this restricted keys area. Now in this account we've already created one, so we're going to create one, a second one, so you can see the process. So this user interface now for a more recent Stripe account is slightly different. You first get this little questionnaire here. It says, how will you use this key? Is it providing the key to another website, or are you building your own integration? So you're providing the key to us, so you can click this first option, and then it asks you for the name of the app. So that's Workshop Angel. And then it says to provide a link to the app itself. So that's https and then www.workshop-angel.com. And we need to select this box, customize permissions for this key. We click continue, and that then brings us to the area where we can create the restricted key. Now we want most of the options here to be off. These individual options are in groups, and the groups have like this grey header. By default, most of the options are on. So what we will do is let's go through, and in the grey header, if we turn the setting to none, then all of the things below all go to none. And there are 4 options we need to set in this first section of all core resources. We need to set balance to be read, charges to be write. If we scroll down a little bit, we need to set payment intents to be write and setup intents to be write. That's all we need to set on. We want everything else to be off. So when we come down now to these other groups of functions, which have the grey background at the beginning, we need to set all the ones with a grey background to be none. And you can see that then sets all the sub items below those to also be none. So let's make sure that's none, that is none. Basically anything with a grey background which is not none, we want to set to be none. So that's none, none, none. Lots more nons. So now if we just scroll back, everything is none, except when we get near the top, going in reverse, setup intents is right, payment intents is right, charges is right, and balance is read. So that's the way we want it. We now hit create key, and it's created this key here. You will have only one of these. We've got 2. So this is the one we just created. So then we have to click on this part here, and we click on the key to copy it. So this is our RK test key. And we then go back to Workshop Angel. Here's the RK test field, and we paste the key in there. And then finally, we have to do exactly the same thing, but in live mode, to create this RK live mode, or RK live key. So we'll go back to Stripe, we'll go to live mode, and we already had quite a few keys here, so we're going to create this new one. So it's for a third-party app, and that's Workshop Angel. I think this field becomes the name of the key that's listed below. We need to put the website again. If you have a version of a Stripe account created before April 2024, you don't have to do this part. I'll put those things. We're going to customize the permissions, and then we're going to set all these things off. We're going to set balance to read, charges to write, payment intents to write, and setup intents to write. And then all these other ones with a grey background, we're going to set to none. Lots of nons. Let's just double check. So we've got balance is read, charges is write, payment intents is right, and setup intents is right. So we'll hit create key. Now you have to go back to your authenticator app, or maybe you'll get sent a text message to your phone in order to be able to see this key. So let's find our, hang on. Let's find on our phone the code. So the code in this moment is 389307. You'll have your own code. Okay, so that's given us this key. It just gives it to us once. So this is the RK Live key. So we click on that, and then we go back to Workshop Angel, and we click change and paste and save. And so now we've entered all the keys. So it says, congratulations, your Stripe keys have been added. Click here to hide all the information about how to do this. So we click that, and now it says testing live payment. So now we've done those things. We want to make a live booking. So depending on what your currency is, it will make the live booking for £1 or $1 or €1. So we click this button here to make the live booking. And that brings us to a Workshop Angel booking form for this event called Stripe Test, which is just, in this case, £1. Put your own email address in here. So that's my personal email address. And we continue to the payment part. And we'll put a card number in here. Actually, I'm not sure if I want to do this because this is my own card. So maybe we won't do this part, but basically when you've made that booking, it will, if your keys are all correct, it will complete the booking and say that the booking's been made. And then you can click this button here to say the payment was registered. And then it will show you the URL, or the ability to get the URL for your live booking form. If the keys were not right for some reason, it's usually that RK Live key, which can go wrong, then it will just sit trying to do the booking, the final part of the booking process and taking the payment forever and ever and ever. And you know you've got that key wrong and you need to go back and generate that RK Live key again. So that's the way you create the Stripe keys and put them in Workshop Angel. We hope that all goes well for you. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.